What's up? I'm not starting this with a knife in my hand. Just kidding, I lied. Obviously, it's a Blade Runner system box. This is the first BRS product I have ever bought, brand new, from BRS themselves. Let's talk about that. This is obviously one of my favorite knives. It's a replicant, but it is a Killer B replicant. It's not in here. It's out of the box. But this is kind of how the unboxing experience goes. I'm actually gonna have my lovely assistant. Okay. Have my lovely assistant kind of show what's going on. So this is just kind of how it gets shipped to you. It's nothing spectacular. It comes in a really nice kind of premium case. It's kind of hard plastic, or I don't even know. It might be foam just covered in like a nylon vinyl. But you open it up. It actually has really cool stitching too. I don't know if you could see it that well. It's green on the inside. You open it up. It's actually a really nice pouch. One thing to note is that under the bottom of it will be your latch and latch hardware. They don't install these on reps anymore, I guess. So this will just kind of be like chilling under there. Kind of useless. And then there's two cards that they're not stickers. Are they stickers? No, they're not stickers. Have these two cards in the case as well. So it's not really super fancy for what it is, but it has the what's that called? Bare Bones, the Replicant, and the Alpha Beast, which is their three main models right now. Obviously, holds the knife well. Looks nice. The teeth on the zipper is green, which is kind of cool. It's like that nice neon green. BRS on top. Chevrons on the zipper puller. Well, other than that, that's really it. There's not really much in the way of unboxing, but this is the new Killer B. And I say new because there's a couple of changes that BRS made that I don't know if I'm necessarily a fan of. Very weird. Oh, and they only sell them with alt blades now, which is kind of weird because I do like the Scorpion Tanto that they make, but it's like kind of weird. I don't know. You could tell. Brand new factory fresh hardware. It has no handle play. Actually, no handle play. Didn't when it came out of the box. It doesn't have my channel spacers in it yet. It is on stock spacers, and the stock spacers are only bead blasted. They're not black like the liners. So a couple things to point out. Obviously, this is very different than your normal standard alt blade rep that you can see. This says DLC finish on the blade, and it has DLC finish on the liners. So that's black because it's supposed to look like a B. You see a BRS logo is laser engraved in there. It doesn't really show up all that well. It's not the best. We'll talk about that more. And this is not the hardware that it comes with originally. So originally, this is the hardware that it comes with. This is the sex bolt. And that is a T10, believe it or not. Doesn't really look like a T10 compared to that. I promise it is. It's not a T9 or anything. I hate the look of two bolt holes on sex bolts. I think it looks really dumb. So I threw old replicant hardware in there. Also, no tap, no play, like I said. Sounds nice. Flips really good. This is my first time with a real alt blade, like a real alt blade, not like a clone or anything like that. So it's kind of cool. Let's talk about something along with this hardware, because I bought hardware from BRS back when I had my Select rep, my Toxic Select. They started selling these in the hardware kit themselves. This is kind of ass. I don't think any flipper really wants these. Because the only reason why you buy these is to torque down on your bushings, and if you know BRS, you can't torque down on the bushings because they're all undersized. They are all undersized. Every single one of them, including the Killer Bee that I have, is undersized. Other than that, the only other special thing that you get with the Killer Bee is the hardware for the pocket clip, which is also not DLC. It looks like a standard rep pocket clip, which I don't like. They should have, if they were going to make it special, they should have made it DLC, or at least coated it DLC, or even black and titanium or something like that. Pocket clips are dumb, especially when you don't ship the knife with the latch pre-installed. Because if you have it in your pocket, it's just going to open up and you're going to cut yourself. If you're going to carry a balisong, tip down, I can put my hand in and out of my pocket all day and I will never cut myself. That's what I do. That's how I carry them. It just makes sense. Also, with the hardware for the pocket clip, they have elongated body sex bolts, which will stick out the other end, and that's what you use this little piece of titanium for. But then again, this kind of just fits like right in there. Let me see if I can get it in. It'll fit in there something like this, and then the sex bolts will sit on top of it. Very dumb design. It makes the knife kind of have a dumb appearance, and your sex bolts are also going to stick out past the handles, so it's not going to be uniform. It's not going to be nice. I don't know why you do it. You could totally get away with putting that pocket clip on with not having elongated sex bolts. I've seen it done before. I have done it before. Doesn't really make sense to me. But anyway, give it a look at this thing in the sun. Something that the video won't pick up is that this yellow is very muted. This is a very, like, pastel yellow in real life. It looks a little bit more like yellow on video, but this is almost like pastel. This is like the color of the 850R, the Volvo 850R, that came in that yellow. It's literally the same color. So, tuning this knife is a bitch. At a factory, you expect to have a knife to, like, actually function properly. You know what I mean? It should have a good tune. Shouldn't have blade rub. This thing had blade rub, tap, play, and the handles would bind. Because not only were the bushings slightly undersized due to the DLC coating, which I had worn through after long amounts of tuning. Every body screw is torqued now. Every pivot is torqued. It has perfect tolerances. So I'm happy with that. Not only was the bushings undersized, the fucking washers were oversized. So it would bind up no matter how much tuning you did. Unless you had the Zen pin like completely unbolted and just like kind of free floating in the body, which is really annoying because it shouldn't be like that. So I sanded and polished the washers. I didn't even touch the bushings. I wasn't even going to bother. And then I got it to where it is now, which is nice. There's one more main difference in this. This is technically a V4 replicant now. This is the 4th iteration of Blade Runner Systems replicant. Believe it or not. There's nothing super noticeable, right? There's one thing. There's actually two things. The way that the handles are made, they are more like, not V2 necessarily, because they're thicker than V2 rep scales. These are more like the V1s, except they're not blocky. They're still rounded out. But they are thicker than V3s and V2s, which is kind of nice. It feels nice in the hand. Still flips perfectly fine. The G10 is still grippy as it should be. But it's just, it's different. It's not something I expected to see. The fit and finish is remarkably better than other replicants. Trying to get play out of it. I could barely get play. I don't know if you could even see that. The fit and finish is a lot better. Not for lack of, hardware trying its best to not spin or just do dumb BRS things. But it looks nice. Also, just kind of forgot about that. There is a slight chamfer still at the end of the handles. See how it kind of rounds out there? It's not as noticeable on the V3s. And it's not as, sharp as the V2s. So this is technically, I would consider it a V4 replicant, even by looks. The main difference, though, is, get ready for this. I made a post about this on Reddit. Is the bushing size. So this is the normal bushing that we're used to on BRS replicants. This is the bushing that fit from the first iteration, the V1s, to the V3s. These have never changed. These have always been a constant. These are brand new. This is a brand new bushing. These always are the same. They are always the same. They are always the same. They were always the same. They bumped it up. Look at that. Look at how much bigger. This is the new bushing size. You could tell just by looking how much thicker it is. Let me get the other one in my hand too. You could tell how much thicker the walls of the bushing are compared to the other one. The inner diameter is still the same, but for some reason they felt the need to change the outer diameter. Are there any positive applications besides just increasing bushing diameter? No. Yeah, and there you can see it. That's like a world of difference. Basically, I think their thought process is, and I looked for information on that. I've tried to find what these new bushing sizes are. This is actually out of the Thomas Balisong. The big one is out of Thomas Balisong default. And the small one is out of the normal wrap. But they actually are using Jerry Home. I say Home. I'm in the minority, I know. They use Jerry Hom replicant. Or not replicant. They use Jerry Hom Basilisk bushings now. I don't know what possessed them to change everything up after all this time. It's been years. Over 10 years that the replicant's been made. They have never changed bushing size until the BRS, until the Killer Bee and the Blackout came out. Which also, I feel like they're going to do away with the Scorpion Tantos. Because this didn't drop with the Scorpion Tanto, and the Blackout didn't either. The Blackout is this, but with black everything. Black scales, black spacers, which I don't know why they couldn't have done for this. Black hardware, which also I don't know why they could have done for this. I'm going to have black hardware coming in for this just because I think it's going to look better. Black sex bolts, black pivots, black body screws, just to make it look nicer. I'm also ordering precision bushings for it, so I could throw my G10 channel spacers in there just because I like the sound and the balance a little bit better. But all in all, this is what a normal rep feels like, sounds like, everything, except they just changed it. It's just different, and I don't know if I really like the changes that they made. The only place that they changed the actual or talked about the changes on these reps was on a 15-minute live stream on Instagram, which I'm pretty sure if you're shocked about this being a V4 rep, you probably didn't see. And the only reason why I know that is because one of the moderators on the subreddit either must have watched it or knew about the information. But it's a rep. It's 100% a rep. It's still a bitch to flip, or not bitch to flip, still a bitch to tune. It's still, it's an alt-blade rep. The bushings didn't do anything for tuning or holding a tune. It's just the nature of the beast with Blade Runner systems. They don't have a tuning department. It's weird. They're not good, but these knives are good, so it's kind of weird. They're starting to feel like Benchmade to me a little bit. They're starting to feel a little antiquated. But they are kind of, in a way, responsible for modern flipping as it is now. More so than Squid Industries, so it's kind of weird. I don't know. This is the BRS Killer B. V4, V3.5, whatever you want to call it. End off on just some footage of her. Looks nice. Flips really good, even stock spacers. Oh, I forgot to say, this is the only time that they ever... This is the second time that they released the Killer B. So I think there's only 100 of them that exist now. But they sold extra Killer B rep scales on their website, which seems odd. Because how do you have a Killer B, or why would you want Killer B scales on something that's not a Killer B? I don't know. I don't care. I have one. Also, let's talk about, real quick, before this is done. Look at how weird the layering on the G10 looks. It's like spotty compared to normal select reps, how it's very clean looking. You can see there's like pitting in the G10. I don't know if they use like a different machining method for this, but it doesn't look sloppy. It looks more like organic, I guess, which fits, because like if this is supposed to be a B, then organic, they hit the mark. It's weird, man. But yeah, that's a Killer B. See ya.